Good afternoon. I am Hassan Dekhani, and today I will be performing two contrasting play extracts from memory. The first piece that I will perform is taken from The Merchant of Venice, Act 1, Scene 3, which was written by William Shakespeare in the late 16th century. This play is set during the transition period of the Renaissance to the new classical era in Venice, Italy, and revolves around Antonio, a merchant in Venice, who takes a loan from a Jew named Shylock on behalf of his friend Bassanio. I will be playing the character of Shylock, a conniving moneylender who seizes this opportunity to get back at Antonio due to his generous practices in the Rialto, adding to the fact that he is Christian while Shylock is an Orthodox Jew. This monologue revolves around the themes of revenge and hatred as portrayed by Shylock. 3,000 ducats. Well, for 3 months. Well, Antonio shall become bound. Well, 3,000 ducats for 3 months and Antonio bound. Antonio is a good man. Oh, no. My meaning in saying he's a good man is to have you understand me that he is sufficient. Yet his means are in supposition. He hath an argosy bound to Tripolis, another to the Indies, and I understand moreover upon the Rialto. He hath a third for Mexico, and a fourth for England, and other ventures he hath squandered abroad. But ships are but boats, sailors but men. There be land rats and water rats and water thieves and land thieves, pirates. And then there is the peril of waters, winds and rocks. The man is, notwithstanding, sufficient. 3,000 ducats. I think I may take his bond. I will be assured I may, and that I may be assured I will bethink me. May I speak with Antonio? Yes, to smell pork, to eat of the habitation which your prophet, the Nazarite, conjured the devil into. I will buy with you, sell with you, walk with you, talk with you, and so following, but I will not eat with you, drink with you, nor pray with you. What news of the Rialto? Who is he comes here? How like a fawning publican he looks. I hate him, for he is Christian. But more for that, in low simplicity, he lends out money gratis and brings down the rate of usance here with us in Venice. If I can catch him once upon the hip, I will feed fat the ancient grudge I bear him. He hates our sacred nation, and he rails, even there where merchants most do congregate, upon me, my bargains, and my well-won thrift, which he calls interest. Cursed be my tribe if I forgive him. The contrasting piece that I will perform is taken from Little Malcolm and His Struggle Against the Eunuchs, written by David Halliwell in the year 1967. Halliwell's classic play is set in the 60s, an age given over to youth and rebellion. This piece revolves around Malcolm's Klondike and his fellow modern art students who rehearse their revolutionary assault upon authority. According to Malcolm, the choice is simple: freedom or serfdom. The manifesto established, the party of dynamic erection begins its surreal offensive upon the eunuchs, who stand in the way of inevitable triumph. While the previous monologue dealt with the themes of revenge and hatred, this monologue revolves around rebellion and a visionary attitude. While both Shylock and Malcolm are vengeful and have pent-up anger, Shylock was angry due to his personal prejudices against Antonio, while Malcolm is just trying to erase a deeply institutionalized belief. He's trying to act for the greater good, while Shylock was just acting out due to his personal vendetta. Look, the issue's simple. Freedom or serfdom. That's the choice. That's what it is. Surrender to him now and your integrity is gone. Gone for all time. Whatever you do in the future, you'll be uttering empty noises, standing on rotten boards. You'll have betrayed yourselves. Sold out, you'll be nothing but self-hating eunuchs! You'll know that when the critical moment rose up, you opted for an entityhood. The choice you must make, and it can't be shirked, is not just for today or tomorrow, but the rest of your life! And what are you to lose by leaving now? A one-line question with a one-line answer. Nothing! Finals. NDD. What's that? Nothing. Nothing doing diploma, which learned you the glorious privilege of designing dog food wrappers or keeping a room full of delinquents in order. Where's art in that? Where's life? Where's any form of any tangible satisfaction? John, you are the most talented painter who ever walked through those dirty corridors and attics down in that so-called school of art. A man with your potential comes once in 5 generations. If that, they should be down on their knees begging to help you. They should be overwhelmed with gratitude that they have been fortunate enough to earn footnotes in art history by helping others use one chance of putting a painter up there in the top rank alongside Cézanne, Matisse, Picasso. You are Huddersfield's greatest son, and Allard treats you like a silly child. I know painting. I know your work, and I say it is an outrage against the cultural aspirations of mankind. You know I don't say things like this lightly. I don't often turn my tongue to praise. I don't go around sprinkling confetti. And Irwin, you're a sensitive man. A man who needs bringing out, nurturing, a magnificent draftsman. The next Dürer, a man of profound depth. But what do they do down there? They crush you, whistle you around like a little dog. I will now perform a devised reworking based on Little Malcolm and his struggle against the eunuchs, written by David Halliwell. In this piece, Malcolm's chloride confronts the headmaster of the Huddersfield School of Art. This devised reworking seeks to showcase the true extent of Malcolm's chloride's persevering and ambitious nature. Well, Professor Allard. Didn't expect to see me here again, did you? I know that there's been a couple of rumors floating around Huddersfield about me and the supposed organization I'm forming to overthrow you. Well, what can I say except the rumors were true. But I'll get back to that in a minute. First, I'd like to speak about you, Allard. You often say you want what's best for your students. But I know you for who you really are. And I've known ever since you expelled me that what you really want is power, control. That's why you sit in this office, and that's why no one really sees you around, because you are the hidden mastermind. The spider spinning his webs, running an institution whose only goal seems to be to take in real people and turn them into thoughtless machines. I had seen through you, and because I chose to speak up about it, you kicked me out of the school. All my dreams of coming here, of becoming an artist, ruined by you. Don't you understand? You ruined me! And I won't let you do the same thing to the others. John, Irvin, Dennis, all of them! Because this is a matter not only of mine, but their integrity as well. Something that I take very seriously. So, I have gathered together some of the best students this school has. Students that you tried to take everything from. My party is nothing like the fools you've dealt with in the past, and we are going to bring forth a revolution the likes of which this school has never seen before. I know what you must be thinking. There have been many students like me who have tried to tear down your walls, but therein lies your mistake. I'm nothing like them. I'm much more dangerous. And not only will I rope in all your students, I will try underneath your very nose. I'm back, Allard. And I will be turning this so-called school of yours on its head. And try as you might, there's nothing you can do to stop me. I invite you to consider this, Allard. This is a declaration of war. I will now perform an improvisation based on when my character received the delivery of a box of books. In this box, they also find a letter addressed to them, which was written many years ago by a recently deceased person, but was never sent. I will be playing the character of Malcolm Scrodak. I need to think of something to rile up these fools to motivate them, but what? Yes, what is it, Irvin? Oh, there's a delivery. You can wait in the living room. These books are the property of James Scrodak? My father. Why has mother sent this to me now? There's a letter in this. To Malcolm Scrodak, my dear son. I'm writing this letter to you to remind you of how much I love you and how proud of you I am. Why didn't Dad send this letter to me sooner? Why am I receiving this now? I know I could never be there for you in a way that you could confide in me. But I have recently found out about you being expelled from college. I want you to know that I forgive you because I know you for who you really are. And I know that you will do great things in this world. Oh, Father, I want you to know that I'm proud of you and that I want you to become the man you were always meant to be. Don't waste your time on this earth. Do great things, son. With love, your father, James Crowdyke. You know what? I can't be wasting my time here day in, day out, sitting in this flat, not really doing anything, and those people, the rest of my party members, just wasting their time in my living room, just doing nothing, thinking life is a joke. That needs to change. I need to call them in here. James, Dennis, all of you are getting here. I need to have a talk with all of you. Sit down. Will you stop laughing? Sit down! As many of you know, my father has recently passed away, and I have just received a delivery which contained a letter from him addressed to me, which he hadn't sent for a while. But I wish he had, because then I wouldn't have made the same mistake over and over again with the lot of you. Day in, day out, I keep giving these speeches, trying to get you all motivated, trying to do some work with our body, but it amounts to nothing, because all of you, ambitionless. Like little crabs in a basket, every time one tries to get out, you push him back in. You think this is fun? This is the life you really want? No longer. I won't accept it anymore. And in the name of my father, there are going to be some changes in this party. So you know what? You better open your ears and listen to me very clearly. Because this is the last speech I am ever giving to you lot again. For those of you who want no part in the future of this party, the door is right there. But for those of you with ambition, the future begins today. That being said, Irwin, could you pass me those cigarettes on the bed? Thank you. I will now move on to my reflection task. I will be answering the questions 1 to 4. Question 1. Which of the performed pieces or demonstrations did you find the most challenging and why? I think each of the pieces were difficult in their own ways. Beginning with Shylock, doing a Shakespearean piece on its own was definitely a challenge for me, because understanding the mannerisms of a different era was definitely a bit of a challenge, and so that is something I had to overcome through my understanding of Shylock and how he would behave. For Screwdike, there was a bit of a different challenge, because Malcolm Screwdike is an incredibly complex character, as I soon found out in my research. And trying to understand this mess of a person was definitely a big challenge. Eventually, I had to make a concession and stick to what that particular monologue required. I couldn't bring in all these other facets of Malcolm's character into my second speech, and I had to stick to someone who was just trying to motivate his party members. And finally, the most difficult speech out of the lot was the devised speech, where I had to finally confront the true character of Malcolm Screwdike. I had to put him in a situation where he was up against this man he really hated, the headmaster of his college, the man who had ruined all his dreams, and how would he react? Someone so complex and someone so unsure of his place in life. Question 2. How did you use your voice and your body to show the contrasting styles in your performance to the audience? For Shylock's piece, I had to understand that Shylock is an older person. So even though he would get angry, his anger would be much more contained. You could feel it in his stomach, the anger, but he wouldn't really scream at the top of his lungs. Also, as an older person, he wouldn't move around too much, so his actions would be a little more restrained as well. But for Malcolm's Chloride, he is a young person, extremely violent, so when he got angry and when he felt like screaming, he would really yell on the top of his lungs, and that had to showcase in the contrasting styles. Also, I could be a bit more open with my body language when I was Malcolm's Chloride. Question 3. Choose one of your extracts. How does it fit into the overall story or plot arc of the piece? I will be speaking about The Merchant of Venice. So my piece begins what is known as the Bond theory in The Merchant of Venice. This begins when Bassanio wishes to travel to Belmont to win the hand in marriage of Portia, an extremely beautiful and wealthy woman. But Bassanio doesn't have the money required to make the travel, and so he requests his good friend Antonio to give him the loan of 3,000 ducats. And yet all of Antonio's ships are out at sea, and he doesn't have any ready cash. And so Antonio instructs Bassanio to go to any other merchant in the Rialto and take the loan from him on Antonio's credit. This is where my piece comes in, where Antonio approaches Shylock, where Bassanio approaches Shylock in order to propose the bond. After this, Shylock agrees to give Bassanio the money, but on the condition that if Antonio is unable to pay the money by 3 months, Shylock will take 1 pound of flesh from near Antonio's heart. This clause is thought to be a joke by Antonio, but when the news comes that his ships are lost at sea, this seemingly joke was now a daunting reality. Question 4. How did you decide on your staging for one of your performed pieces? What other options did you try? I will be speaking about my second speech, which was Malcolm's Chloride in Little Malcolm against his struggle against the Huguenots. So in this piece, for this particular monologue, in my research, I couldn't really find any specific sets where Malcolm's Chloride gave this monologue. So I had to be a bit more creative and look for other options. And in the play, we had found other settings where he used to have these motivational chats with his party members. Sometimes he would take them out to a bar, buy them a couple of drinks and give his speeches, or even outside his apartment building in the open air, he would smoke a cigarette and give these speeches. But I thought what was more fitting for a more serious monologue was if they had this meeting in Malcolm's Chloride's flat. So essentially, the setting is Malcolm's Chloride enters through the door of the living room, and his party members are sitting around him. Some people on the bed, some on the collapsible chairs, some on the floor itself. And this setting is much more unkept because this is Malcolm's Chloride's apartment, and because it's more serious, that is where he delivers this monologue. So this exam has definitely taught me that there is a lot more to acting than meets the eye, and I definitely have a lot more to learn. It was a wonderful experience, and I look forward to the next one. Thank you.